Update on a story that's really shocked the world. We know the Gaddafi regime is brutal. We know they've killed many, tortured prisoners, but it's rare you see the brutality captured up close. We're about to show you what happened to a woman this weekend who said she'd been gang raped by Gaddafi's militia. Saturday morning, Eman Al-Obeidi risked her life by storming into a Tripoli hotel to tell journalists her story of government brutality. They say we're all Libyans, she screams, but look what Gaddafi brigades did to me. Plainclothes government officials immediately intervene. This man tries to grab her and shut her up. Journalists jump in to try and help her. Her face bruised, she says she's from Benghazi and was abducted at a government checkpoint, bound, beaten, and raped by 15 members of Gaddafi's militia. She shows journalists blood on her inner thigh and rope burns on her hands and feet. My honor was violated, she cries out. Here, officials, including some who previously appeared to be hotel staff, try to separate Al-Obeidi from the journalists, dragging her away. One hotel staffer shouts traitor as he draws a knife. This man here appears to be going for a weapon. Gaddafi's men kick and punch journalists, wrestling some of them to the ground, breaking their cameras for their footage. As Al-Obeidi continues to cry out her story, watch as this woman throws a dark bag over her head to silence her. A little while later, Al-Obeidi surfaces as government officials drag her out of the hotel. If you don't see me tomorrow, then that's it, she screams.
Where are you taking her to now?
Journalists tried to come to her aid one last time, but Al-Obeidi is shoved into a car and taken away. Incredibly upsetting. Nick Robertson, David Kirkpatrick of the New York Times have been on this story from the very beginning. They join us now. David, if her story is true, it's hard to overstate just how much courage it took for this woman to speak up like this. You consider the wounds she displayed, how she was treated. She was taken out of the hotel. I mean, it's really a reminder of the kind of brutality the Gaddafi regime seems capable of. What do we know about what's happened to her?
We don't know anything. My understanding is that her family, and this is my understanding from Nick's reporting, my understanding is that her family is standing by her. We've had a series of contradictory characterizations of her case from the Libyan government. The initial response from the spokesman was, she seems drunk, probably insane. We're going to investigate her claims, which may be fantasies, usual fantasies. Later that day, the spokesman said, okay, she seems sane, she seems sober, she has a criminal case, not a political case, and we're investigating it. Hopefully she'll be able to talk to you soon. The next morning, the word was character assassination. They said that she was a prostitute with a long record as a thief. That again, they said she and her family will be offered an opportunity to speak with us, but we haven't heard from her. I don't believe her family's heard from her. And certainly the shift in tactics to character assassination is not promising.
Nick, I want to play some video of you confronting one of the government spokesmen about her.
Nick, please, could we just, to respect her, her daughter, her family, to respect, this is a very conservative society. Could we not expose her in public, please? If I said something, I said what I knew, okay? I don't want to repeat anything I said. I'm not withdrawing from what I said. I'm saying is I don't want to make it even more known, even more public. This is a criminal case.
So the guy who called her a prostitute is now suddenly saying, oh, out of respect for her, we shouldn't say any more. We've seen demonstrations in 2 opposition-held towns in support of her. People not shying away from what she said had happened to her, but in fact coming out and demonstrating in support of her. What have you learned? What have you heard about either her whereabouts or about how her family's reacted?
We really don't know of her whereabouts right now, and it's going to be very, very difficult to find out because essentially the government's pushed the onus onto us by saying they've released her. but we don't know exactly where that would be, and we're not free to travel around, and there's a good chance that wherever she is, there'll be security outside of there so we won't get in. But what we are hearing from the east of the country is that her family have rallied around her. There is video on YouTube this evening that purports to be her father and her groom at an engagement party in her absence. And what this means is that the family is saying they support her, that her honor is still intact, which is so hugely important here in this part of the world, that her honor is intact and she can be respected. Indeed, in some cultures, people would say if she'd been through that, then she should be killed. But it goes beyond that, because her future husband is from her tribe as well, and that's a statement from the tribe saying that they still honor and respect her, which really throws it back in the face of the Gaddafi regime. So we're seeing her family and her tribe rally behind her, which will be hugely important for her. But of course, we still don't know where she is and what state she's in, Anderson.
And David, she had said that she was being held captive with other women, that there were other people who had also been held captive. Do we know anything about them?
Reuters reached someone here in Tripoli who appeared to be a cousin and listed the names of 3 female lawyers who they said had also been taken with her. She is said to have been stopped at a checkpoint by Gaddafi militia here near Tripoli. She's from Benghazi originally. I don't know anything more about those women.
Nick, how frustrating is it, just as a reporter and a human being, to be in this situation where, you know, one wants to defend this person, and yet one is sort of powerless to ultimately do anything about it?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, we're powerless in many ways, yet we do collectively as reporters have some power and also some moral responsibility to do what we can for another human, and I think that's what we're trying to do. But look, in all of this, in trying to sort of follow up on her case, the other people, these other 3 lawyers who she reports being with her, we've sort of almost lost sight of them, and that's just the handful of people that we know about. I mean, our taxi driver from a couple of weeks ago taken into custody. Is he really released? As people have told us, the frustrating thing is that there's so many people that you want to follow up on, and you don't get a straight answer, as we've seen. It's sort of one half-truth that leads to another half-truth that you can't really prove or disprove, people discredited. It adds up to frustration, but it adds up to determination. We will do what we can. I think collectively the journalists here witnessed something at the weekend that will be with us for many, many years. And it's a stark reminder for us, for everything that's kept hidden from us, from everything that people fear about from this regime, wanting to speak out, wanting to have a free voice, but being closed down. That will stay with us, I think.
And David, I think it might have been a story that you had written about this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but suddenly it seemed like hotel staff, people who were waiters, all of a sudden turned out to be, you know, government agents or be involved in this.
Yeah, you know, it's true. I sort of assumed, Libya being Libya, that a good number of the hotel staff were actually paid government informants or working for the government in some way. But it was breathtaking to see a sweet young woman from a coffee bar throw a coat over Eman Al-Obeidi's head, just like a bag, wrapping it around her head and trying to pull her away. That young woman has been redeployed. We haven't seen her at the coffee bar since then.
It's just stunning. It's so disturbing. And we should all not forget what has happened to Eman Al-Obeidi, and we'll continue to follow up on it. David Kirkpatrick, as always, thank you. Stay safe. Nick Robertson as well.